The VA estimates nearly 250,000 veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan suffer post-traumatic stress, and those numbers are likely higher because of undiagnosed cases. On this Veterans Day, CBS This Morning contributor Lee Woodruff looks at an unusual program designed to help out. Lee, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Good morning to all of you. And to anybody who works with returning veterans, they'll tell you the problem with post-traumatic stress is way too large for the military and the VA to handle themselves. There needs to be community involvement. And one civilian has combined his love for filmmaking and a strong family legacy in the military to help veterans heal.
And roll camera, steady it in.
In an old farmhouse in South Hamilton, Massachusetts, some amateur filmmakers are hoping to change their lives.
Let's do a little bit wider shot to show the 3 war cards going down.
These aren't Steven Spielberg wannabes or guys hoping to create the next YouTube sensation. These are military veterans, and the filmmaking is post-traumatic stress therapy.
I've gone to mental health appointments and counseling and small group therapy, still with the embarrassment of having a diagnosis of PTS.
Jeff Sarin suffered post-traumatic stress after almost being killed in a training exercise. Film therapy, he says, helps him deal with his issues through role-playing.
Something like this, you're an actor or an actress, and you don't have to be yourself. It was a natural way to express myself without having to feel like I was violating my own privacy.
The program is called the I Was There Workshop, week-long lessons that culminate in a short film. Civilian filmmakers team with the vets, who conceive, write, shoot, and edit the piece, all while collaborating with fellow PTS sufferers.
Out of nowhere, a rocket-propelled grenade came and hit the helicopter.
John Tanzi served in Vietnam.
The things that have been coming up in my mind that I haven't thought of for over 40 years, it's sort of like scraping the wounds off and looking deeper into yourself.
The I Was There project was created 2 years ago by Ben Patton, a New York-based filmmaker.
They can go back and explore some of these things in a safe way, because when you're making a film, you're God in the film. You get to determine how it turns out.
Action.
Filmmaking serves as narrative therapy for the vets, allowing them to express themselves in a new way.
Maybe I can't talk about what happened to me in Kandahar, but I can make a film about it, and I can show that to my wife. And maybe that takes me just a little bit closer to having her and the people around me, including my kids and my parents, understand what I went through.
Patton is not a veteran, but the military has always been close to his heart. His grandfather was World War II hero General George S. Patton, Jr. His father was an officer in Korea and a major general in Vietnam. Growing up Patton, that has to have been a really big legacy to live under. Did you ever consider entering the military?
Absolutely, but I always had that nagging feeling that there was something else for me, and so I never made the choice to go in the military. But now, years later, it's been wonderful to have things circle back, and I can re-encounter my legacy and work with veterans in a way that kind of builds on the legacy of my father and my grandfather.
And perhaps repair some of that legacy as well. Before there was even a term post-traumatic stress, General Patton made headlines for hitting a shell-shocked soldier. He was forced to apologize for the incident.
As a member of the Patton family, of course, I've strived to understand why that happened. And my father had an eerily similar incident in Korea where he struck a soldier. It's affirming to feel that I can care for soldiers in a new way. And hopefully there's one general on this shoulder and another one on this shoulder smiling down and saying, keep at it.
Incredible story. And I noticed you called it PTS, not PTSD. What's the difference?
When I talk to veterans, nobody wants to have the D. The D is a disorder. So they have fought in these wars, they have normal, combat stress-related stuff, and the D is a stigmatization.
Yeah.
But the D is required for the diagnosis to get, the disability.
How fitting, though, that Patton's grandson would be associated with this, for people to say, I can't talk about it, but I can show you this movie.
Well, it's one of the many, many things that people are supporting in terms of non-traditional therapy. Talk therapy only gets you so far, but creating, music, therapy, all these non-traditional things, meditation, yoga,